Yeah, as mentioned, we have the legends in here. So, yeah. So looking at what's going on, the first thing I would love to do is talk a little bit of the state of Tribe. So this is basically where we're at, where we're heading. Ozan, would you like to step in and give any
Yeah,
on where Tribe's
yeah,
at, especially around moving to subscription. We talked about this on our last town hall, that transition, but we're now however many months on. So yeah, where we at on that, and just in general before we get into the nitty gritty of updates and such.
yeah. I'm happy to speak to that. I mean, just as you know, for context, the original motivation for doing Tribe was to empower you guys, to empower artists and musicians, to fulfill your potential, and whether that means just your creative potential or your professional potential. So that's the journey that we've embarked upon. And step one was providing some virtual equipment that you guys could have access to that otherwise would be tricky because money. And then also, in addition to having access to that virtual equipment, then having access to learning tools, and in addition to that, having access to community. And so we have been continuing with that journey. As of recently, we shifted our payment model, our business model, to a subscription model. That was around July. And some of you may have already kind of, heard tell of those things. And I can report, at least from Tribe's perspective, that things are going pretty well. That it's been well received within the community, and that yeah, that it's working, right? It's fitting. And the reason why I think it's fitting is that Tribe is not it's not like a tool that you just you take with you and you use and that's it. It's a community. It's a platform. And I like that a lot. That's part of what we've been hoping for. And frankly, it's a bit of a personal goal as well, to just be building community and adding a bunch of value into society. And so we're seeing some of that. Like Tribe is becoming more of a club-like experience, and and sort of a party type of experience where people can come on a regular basis and get recurring value from. So in that sense, it's working really well. I guess, and my greatest hope is that we continue to help empowering you guys, and not only by providing these tools like the equipment and so on, but also helping build your artistic identity. And so the things that we want to focus on going forward is around those things, or are around those things. The social elements, the profile elements, things like your badging and your leveling and things along those lines, and then all the tools you need to be able to capture all the amazing content that you guys produce and then share that content with the world. So that's at a high level what it is.
Sure. Yeah. So we launched our subscription product, I think it was on the 13th of July this year. And we sort of ummed and ahed about, what's the best sort of business model for Tribe that enables us to kind of keep investing in more mentors, more content, more products. And really, the objective of Tribe is to help aspiring DJs become performing DJs, and to kind of empower those DJs to sort of go off and learn and improve, but also to perform to the world and collaborate with people around the world. And so yeah, we're not really the Tribe is not just like a game that you play and then stop playing. The idea is that we want this to be something that people use over a long period of time, and that we're constantly improving. So that was really the rationale for introducing subs. It has led to like quite a big increase in the number of people starting free trials, and we've seen kind of a strong positive improvement in terms of our subscriptions. So in what now 3 months, we've probably got 2,000 plus paying subscribers, and but we've gained a lot of new free customers as well. And one of the big things that's giving momentum at the moment for Tribe is obviously the launch of MetaQuest 3. I think there's kind of a lot of excitement around the mixed reality headset being available to all. Meta did previously obviously release Quest Pro, but that was a little bit expensive, and probably not as fully formed as the Quest 3 mixed reality features. So yeah, we saw that firsthand in Amsterdam. We demoed Tribe and our Pete Tong DJ Academy integration there on Quest 3s, and the feedback from people attending ADE was amazing. Generally, I think, particularly for new users, it's less intimidating to use mixed reality than it is to kind of start in full VR. And we found that it's easier for people when they can kind of see people around them or see the room around them, and lock decks into position, and come back to them and learn in a sort of mixed environment. So that was really promising. It's still very early. Quest 3 has really only been in people's bedrooms and homes since the 10th of October. That was the first day it landed. But we're expecting a pretty big pickup this holiday season. Normally, the busiest time of year for Tribe is the period between Black Friday and sort of March. But really, the peak weeks, sort of Christmas week, New Year, and hopefully we're going to see a big increase in the number of people buying Meta Quest headsets. But as a company, we're not just thinking about Meta Quest. We are now signed up and registered as an Apple developer, and we're looking at how we might be able to bring Tribe to some of the upcoming headsets that you may have read about. And we're also pretty actively working on a 2D version of Tribe. Currently, there's one actually squirreled away in the PC version. Some of you may have had the chance to try it. But yeah, there is a sort of 2D version that you can use on your PC currently, but we're really trying to refine that and make the 2D version of Tribe available to anyone with a free or paid version of Tribe to use on a 2D screen. So that's like laptops, eventually iPads, phones, and so on. And the idea there is just that, like, we want to be XR first, but we also want to have people be able to kind of pop in and take classes or join from any device. We think that's going to help our customers, and yeah, would love your feedback on that as well. But yeah, it's also going to potentially open up a bigger audience for our DJs. So when you get to the point of wanting to perform or share with people around the world, then yeah, we're hoping that people will be able to join from any device at all.
Yep.
So yeah, so exciting stuff coming up. We're jazzed to have started working with the Pete Tong DJ Academy folks. They've got an incredible slate of artists on their books. So from Pete Tong and Carl Cox to Nicole Mudaba, Adam Bayer, Jamie Jones, and they keep adding more and more people. And as we're building out our partnership with them, we're planning to introduce more and more lessons from their artists into Tribe, interactive lessons that you'll be able to sort of play along with. And we're also going to be, helping. It's got to be it's a partnership that's sort of mutually beneficial. Ultimately they also want people to sign up for their content. So we're kind of working out the nuances of what that means exactly, but we're super excited to bring those lessons to Tribe. And then, we're also going to be working with, our friends at Pioneer DJ to bring more products to Tribe. Ozan's probably mentioned already, and you've probably tried some of the new features, but we now have a drum machine. But yeah, we've got a whole product roadmap of new cutting edge Pioneer DJ equipment coming to Tribe, and some integrations as well. So some of you may have seen that we've now launched Beatport on Quest. That's historically been the complete thorn in our side that we couldn't have Beatport on Quest.
Yeah.
And thanks to Hunter's work, working directly with the Beatport team, we're actually the first Android app, I believe, that they support. And we had to work through a lot of issues to get that fixed, but that's now working. And we're also working on some other streaming service integrations. So probably nothing that will surprise you, but yeah, if you look at your Recordboxes and Seratos of the world, they have a lot of streaming services. So yeah, we're going to be bringing a few more services to Tribe, and the idea is that if you've already got an account with those services, if you're already paying for SoundCloud Go Plus or Beatport Link, or some of the other services, premium options, you'll be able to DJ just like you can on real equipment and in software. So yeah, just trying to make it easier and better for everyone. So yeah, that's what we've been up to. And yeah, love all of your feedback on the latest releases, and thank you again for your support in giving us feedback as we're sort of testing and shipping these new features.
Yep, and we'll get into new features just in a second. Yeah, one footnote I put on is that there's one metric that is daily active users that is very important to me. It's I think to the growth of Tribe. It's how many people we have, how many people are really active in Tribe, and that's only going to allow us not only from a revenue standpoint and being an investment standpoint, but to actually do all of these amazing things, social features, have more people doing more things in Tribe, and the goal is to have that happen and then develop around that and have things that can support people doing all sorts of things on their own, different genres, etc. That's sort of a big goal. So just looking at this first before I jump forward, we just talked about the state of TribeXR. Next, we're going to talk about big deal, which is our partnership with Pete Tong DJ Academy, and then the Carl Cox edition of that, which it was in our 10.7 release. The reason I'm saying this, I want to set it up for what happened in Amsterdam is based on that partnership.
Being a DJ is more than just knowing how to beat match. It's an art, a mission. This is the Pete Tong DJ Academy. Welcome to the Pete Tong DJ Academy, where we'll teach you all the technical aspects of DJing and some of the best kept secrets. We'll reveal useful tricks and tips developed over decades of DJing and share some of the interesting anecdotes and experiences that we've had throughout our careers, allowing you to become a great DJ. In short, the best way to get into the fantastic art of DJing straight through the front door. The Pete Tong DJ Academy, time to get serious.
So yeah, this is just an incredible partnership that we are fortunate enough to make with Pete Tong DJ Academy. Like it says, it's for beginners and advanced. And this is why I want to also highlight it and spend a little time on it, because everybody should basically jump in. If you haven't seen it, it's in the Learn tab inside of Tribe, and definitely check it out. And even if you are a more advanced DJ, you have a lot of experience, this is something really special because we have Carl Cox talking about his history, his booth setup, his philosophy a little bit, and then a little bit of his technique. So even if you already know how to use beat effects, it's a great benefit to learn what he thinks of that and his basic approach to it. So even as an advanced DJ, don't be afraid to jump into that Learn tab and check it out. We see on this little image on the right, you see this amazing piece of content where you see everything, multiple camera angles of Carl Cox doing this long performance. On the website itself, it's the whole performance of him. We just have a snippet to illustrate some of our game mode material where you can actually use the V10, use the same exact equipment he's using, and jump in. So yeah, so that basically that's an amazing thing everybody should check out. So, and it's amazing that we have Carl Cox in VR in the headset. So yeah, that's something that not to be missed. So that led us to a little bit doing something with them, an activation in Amsterdam, right? Something that we could do in the real world as an activation. And so you'll see here, this is what this is our booth setup with Pete Tong DJ Academy, where we had people actually do the performance, do the game mode version of the Carl Cox performance that he taught, and did it in a way that was competitive, right? With you see in the back of this top right one, you see leaderboards, and on this bottom video is great. These guys were they came back every day, trying to up their high score, and yeah, it was a ton of fun, and of course we got to meet some people from the community. We got the Futhings, an amazing mentor, me and Futhings on the left, Ozan, Power to All, and myself also at the booth. So yeah, it's always amazing to meet up with the team again, and yeah, I do hope to do that with people around the world as we do some of these things. think. Cool. So let's jump right into some of the updates. So some recent updates. This is about I believe 3 weeks ago. We came out with the 10.7 update. This came out right before we went to Amsterdam, and the big thing we've already talked about, the Carl Cox, which again, please check it out. Do yourself a favor, check that out. Yeah, we're gonna have a few contests around in a similar way, in a similar leaderboard soon. So if you get familiar with that, you might have a chance to win some tribe swag that we have available. Yeah, real quick, if you didn't know, we also have a control VFX. You might not have known this because it's in the settings. It's something we didn't want to put on by default necessarily, but basically you see in this this image here on the right, it's a way to actually have some effects showing what you're doing. So this helps us out in workshops and also kind of makes a little bit more of a dynamic performance. If you're streaming to Twitch or whatever, people do, I think, appreciate that. They appreciate seeing what you're doing, whether you're turning a knob or moving a fader or pressing a button. It's just this sort of thing that we can do only in virtual reality, where it sort of highlights your motions and movements. So we'd hope to do more with that too, but this is kind of just that opening salvo. This is the first step. Some drum machine multiplayer fixes. So drum machine should be pretty solid, which is very exciting. If you haven't done that, that's a fun thing to do. Actually creating beats together should work pretty flawlessly. And let me know if there's any issues, but we made sure that was pretty robust. It's pretty robust now as a tool for collaboration. And yeah, some video call improvements. Again, some of you know this, but I need to call it out just so if you don't, some of these are game changers. So I don't want anybody to miss this, right? We promised this on the last town hall. It was upcoming, but we have volume controls, separate volume controls for your microphone of hearing everybody's voice basically in a call, and then also the music that's playing. So this is quite amazing in any setting. If you're doing sort of back-to-backs or switching up round robin style, you can not only control it for your own comfort, but also, while you're doing a lesson or while you're kind of figuring out your next set that you're going to throw up, on the decks when it's your turn, you can have full control over that. So definitely check that out. We also have a spectator mode, which allows you to jump into video calls without really, committing to being there. So this is great just to kind of see what's going on, not to, feel too intrusive or, have pressure to kind of, be counted. So until you're ready anyway. So that's another thing we added in 10.7, and DJ profile name. So your profile, which you can select in the main menu, you can actually open up your web profile that's connected to your email. If you change your name there, it will actually now change in the rooms and in the video call. So you're no longer necessarily stuck with your, terrible meta name that you picked when, 5 years ago when you had no idea. And you can really, really live out your DJ persona then. So that's quite amazing. Okay, so then we went to ADE and we found a couple of things that we really wanted to fix. There was a couple small bugs, but things that we really wanted to push on. So even while we were in Amsterdam, especially Ozan, big shout out to Ozan for running back to the hotel room, putting on the headset and everything, and on the way back, doing as much QA as we could. Just mere 2 weeks later, we had 10.71, which you'll note that it's 10.71. It's usually, that's kind of reserved for patch fixes or small things, but because we had a bunch of things in the chamber, we actually were able to release some amazing, kind of game-changing things in this 0.1 update. Like, for instance, as Tom mentioned, Beatport on Quest. Super huge. People have been asking for this for a long time. Finally got it over the line. That's super exciting. The phase meter as well. You can check that out on the mixer screen. I don't have an image for it here, but yeah, that's an optional thing where it'll show you the beats. This is great for learning and just a great little visual treat as well. One-handed cue play. So now you can have the ability to actually press the cue button and then actually press the play button with one hand. If you use the reset key button, which is A or X, I believe, on the Quest controllers, over the cue, it will actually activate the play. So this is quite amazing, as you don't have to do that two-handed move that some people in real life don't really do. They kind of use two fingers to one on the cue and one on play. So that kind of simulates that a little better. This is not a huge thing for some people though. It's a workflow thing, and they're gonna love it. Various multiplayer improvements, loading up hotkeys for other people, making sure it doesn't overwrite on yours. So some great stuff there. Lots of little tiny things that just hopefully make life easier in multiplayer for everybody. Twitch chat display. So even if you're not in video call, if you're logged into Twitch inside of Tribe, you can see your chat at any point, which is great for PC users or anybody who doesn't necessarily want to make a call but wants to see their chat. And yeah, lots of other things, too numerous to mention. 2 or 3 quick things, and we will get to questions in this first section. But community streams and events, just want to highlight. We just last night had Hardcore Halloween. It's like community event. These are some resident DJs, but yeah, if you have some ideas for genre specific or something interesting you want to do, just a couple of DJs, and you need help maybe organizing it or getting it together, I'd love to work with you with that. So just reach out to me, and yeah, we'll try to make it an official event basically, and put our stamp on it and stream it to our Twitch. So we'd love to do that. Oh, community streams is another thing. I would love to grab if you have sets sitting there. You're not necessarily jumping into the resident DJ program yet, but you have something you're proud of. You feel free to send over to me or Atomic, and yeah, we're collecting sets so we can actually stream them, even pre-recorded sets, to Twitch. So if you have something you want to put out into the world, but you're not sure if you want to do the regular resident DJ business, then yeah, reach out to me. We have a way that we can share your work with the world. One note is also reviews are super important. If you haven't already on your platform of choice, please leave a review for us. It really helps, especially now with the subscription. Not everybody sort of instantaneously understands what the deal is. We're working with Meta and these to try to make it as clear as possible. But yeah, we'd like to balance that out with some reviews of the software itself. So instead of just like the way that the model is set up or people's confusion around that, we'd also like to people to talk about the app itself. If anybody's actually interested to jump in, they should be informed. So reviews help a lot, and yeah, if encouraging that for you or anybody that you're playing with in multiplayer rooms or calls. Yep, reviews are super important. If you're interested in helping out, that's the best way to do so. Okay, great. So that leaves us with our first QA section. Here's a question from Mixer to Fixer, and maybe this is Ozan, you can field this one. Has developing for Quest 3 opened up any opportunities compared to Quest 2? If so, would there be a recommended time for upgrading to get the best out of Tribe?
Actually, I can speak to this, and then I think Sam can also speak to this a little bit. I mean,
Yes.
the big difference between the Quest 2 and the Quest 3 is the mixed reality pass-through, and that one, there's a couple things. One is just it's comfortable. It's nice to be able to see your environment while you're doing virtual stuff. And Tribe specifically is really about the object in the room, the equipment in the room, and then a little bit the screens as well when you're doing like live streaming and video calls. But it's not as much about the environment per se. So it's like really a good fit for mixed reality, because then you can be in your living room, you can be wherever you want, you could be out in the park and whatnot, and still have the essential core content that you need. So you can stay connected with your environment, be comfortable, still interact with people around you, and be playing all that virtual content. So that is good. The other advances in the Quest 3 is just better across every axis, like the resolution's better, the performance better. So it's like a really awesome accomplishment from Meta's perspective, in my humble opinion, that they've advanced the thing across all those vectors, that it's like better, it's also faster, and it's still affordable. It's not that crazy like Quest Pro price point. So even though it's not a game changer as of yet, it's still a pretty profound step forward. I think the big thing with regard to like whether or not to buy it is maybe giving it some time for apps to start building mixed reality specific experiences that are actually like significant. and we ourselves are thinking about how to do that, how to leverage that pass through to maybe integrate with physical equipment, and doing virtual content on top of the physical equipment and still be blended with our entire platform. So it's great. I don't know if others have anything to say about its performance, but I mean, if you're my assumption is if you're kind of a hardcore early adopter, you would get it because it is better and it's like really cool. But is it gonna like unlock some massive thing that you weren't able to do before? I don't think so, not yet. But I would get it. I'm gonna get another one. I'm gonna get like a actual proper consumer headset because I currently have a dev kit. Yeah,
And maybe with the Elite strap too.
yeah, the Elite strap is for comfort. Yeah, hope that
So
answers the question.
yeah, that does. I think it is like huge quality of life. It's a big boost, and give it a shot. Like, see if you can get into a Best Buy and throw it on. And
Yeah,
it
I don't
is
know,
the
Sam.
clarity is pretty
The
good. But yeah, I would love to hear from Sam on that, the opinion on Quest 3, and if we that changes anything that we do from our end.
Yeah, it might change things that we do. The Quest 3 has a um, better GPU, and so we have more room to make visual improvements to the app, such as increasing texture resolution, adding effects, things like dynamic lighting and bloom, things that you might see in sort of your standard games, sort of like visual effects and stuff like that. We haven't done that yet, but it's certainly something that we'd like to do. So um, there may be more of a possibility to do that now because we've been pretty limited by the processing power of the previous versions of the Quest, and now we have about 2x times like GPU power. So there's definitely some room for improvement. But even without us doing anything, the lenses uh, are already just better on the Quest 3, so you'll get a better resolution just out of the box.
Cool. Maybe we'll take a random question. I see Icy Boy snuck onto the stage. Our bouncers did not catch him in time. So Icy Boy, real quick, because we do want to move on. But if you can unmute and if you have a very quick question, let us know.
My question is, are you ever gonna add like new environments to Tribe, like
That's a,
studios, stuff like that?
that's a great question. All right, thanks, Icy Boy. Ozan, you want to talk to that a little bit?
Yeah, yes, we are. In fact, we have one that is sort of in the chamber waiting to be launched and released. It's just it's a matter of time, basically. It's a matter of like resources to actually do it. But we have this really cool environment that we did for Pioneer DJ. It's fantastical. It's this like this tramway over a bombed out Berlin landscape with these crazy zeppelins flying over you, and this is very cool and I'm excited to get it. It's much like the New York hip hop ride that we currently have. But I think your idea of having a studio environment is excellent because that is aligned with the cinematic narrative that we are telling within the product, that you have access to this equipment and now a variety of equipment. You've got not only the decks, but you've got the drum machine, you've got the synth, you have an at-home studio. So having an environment that helps reinforce that would be like really cool. So I think it's a good idea, and yes, just a matter of time.
What we're gonna do, we did this
Thank you,
last
Icy Boy.
time. Thank you, Icy
Thank
Boy.
you very much for
Um,
answering the question.
Oh, thank you. Let's get to the next big section here. We got we did all the stuff on the left, so we got the right here, which is our feature roadmap. So this is a few things that we're working on immediately for for 10.8, which is our next version, and then yeah, we have some ideas from beyond that as well to discuss. Cool. That said, Ozan, do you want to walk us through what desktop mode is? I know Tom mentioned it earlier or alluded to it.
Yeah, well, I mean, the framing concept is that we want to provide access outside of just VR, so that when you're in the mood, you can still connect with the experience on whatever surface you're interested in. So a desktop is the first one because it's a natural fit for us and the way the project is currently built. But then that would extend to things like tablets and phones as well. but that way you can connect whatever mood you're in. So if you want to have a fully immersive experience, you can be VR. If you want to have a sort of a comfortable mixed reality experience, you can be like, VR, AR type thing. If you want to have a lean back experience, but still have access to the equipment, you can be on desktop. And if you're on the go, you'll be able to do it on your tablet and phone and stuff like that. So that's the overall concept.
Yep.
And the thing that was kind of an amazing accomplishment is that Hunter was kind of like in a fit of, a fit of need, if you will. He kind of flipped a switch and did a desktop version for us. And he basically converted all the 3D content that we currently have in VR into a kind of a 2D context, and it works. So it's great, and it's there. And as Tom mentioned, it's sort of an Easter egg that's already available. So if you guys have a VR-ready PC, you can already access it and use it. We just want to smooth out some of the, sort of the usability of it, if you will, and then make it actually like an official feature that we'll then promote. So desktop
Yep.
mode.
Yep, and yeah, that's slated for hopefully for our next release if everything goes well. Yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to hearing people's feedback. How do you use this? How do you like it? In what context are you using it? Most of us here are probably in VR. We know how amazing it is to be in VR and mixed reality and actually reach out and touch the buttons. But there is some interesting use cases where you can just fire up Tribe real quick and play around, learn something, without much friction. So interesting to see where it goes. I'll also, I'll send out some video too. This isn't that sufficient on this page, but you can imagine moving your mouse around and actually having this top-down view, and it works pretty well. Yeah, you can do a decent mix, even with one controller being your mouse, and most everything you can actually do in Tribe. So yeah, super exciting.
And then just one thing about the desktop mode, like a sort of a detail there is, if you do want to run the desktop mode, run the executable directly. And then at least for me, the way I get it working on a PC VR with Rift is that I have to make sure that the Oculus desktop app is not open. So close the Oculus desktop app, disconnect your headset, and then just run the EXE directly. And that's how it works for me, at least. There may be some other ways of getting it going, but that's my mechanism.
Yep, yeah, on Oculus, yeah. On Steam, you can it will pop up, but yeah, with on the Rift version, yeah, you have to do that thing. If you need instruction on that, if you want to kind of try it out, just let me know, and I'll walk you through it. It'd be great to just, even though it is in this state now that it's this basic kind of clay that we're working with, it would still be great to hear your feedback as like power users here. Go on to our next one. Here are this is a concept of visual packs, which are the ability to download some ready-made visuals. Yeah, Ozan, any context on this here?
Well, just the one that you guys have been asking for visuals, basically. That, I mean, I ran like an AI thing on our Discord server where like, what are the themes that everyone's asking about? And visuals was the top theme. So clearly that's an important expressive tool for you all. So we wanted to basically level up our visuals game, and Sam is the hero on this journey to add those features. And then we could talk more about the details and exactly how, but that's sort of the context for it.
Yep, very cool. So yeah, we're looking at some visuals that Futhings created, and yeah, we have Montella made a few. We have some Creative Commons stuff that we can put in there. So yeah, very exciting work that we're sort of starting on now. Probably more details to come, but it's important to mention because like Ozan said, we recognize that it's very important to people. So we're going to do the best we can to make it super easy, even for standalone users to access this. Cool. And then here's the concept of leaderboards. So I'm just showing here, this is a little mobile view of the leaderboard that we made for ADE, and you can see how it worked. And actually the score distribution was pretty great. It was pretty great to see people come back and try to get a higher score as well. So it'd be great to incorporate this into Tribe. Any more context on it, Ozan?
Well, just the phenomena of the leaderboard at AD was pretty crazy to see. It's just this experiment in human psychology where you had
Yeah.
people coming through and doing the thing, and then once they saw their name on a leaderboard and they saw it ranked against others, they were like, hell yeah, I'm gonna do it again and again until I get top, top slot, right? And or a perfect score. And it's really cool because I think we all want to do these activities, these creative activities, but it's good to have some goal, some purpose, and that's what the leaderboard kind of unlocks psychologically. So we're down, and it was such a powerful signal. It's like, okay, we got to do that now, next kind of thing.
Yep, and it'd be interesting to see, the various things we can do leaderboards for. Obviously, this is for Carl Cox, the performance, it's like 4 minute game mode thing. But there's lots of ways that we can, kind of see what people are doing in Tribe and reward them accordingly. So that's it's yet to be seen exactly how this will implement, but just getting something out there, I think, would be really awesome. Even if it's just starting with one thing like the Carl Cox performance. Here we have Pioneer DJ equipment. This is the same slide from last time, but we're getting closer to it. We're getting closer to these sort of things we've agreed with Pioneer DJ to get out there. I would say the Flex 10 is pretty interesting. We have one of our devs, Andrew, is working on stem separation, which is an important part of the Flex 10. It's an important feature there. Yet, there's difficulty in developing for it. We have to figure out how to do it. Are we going to do it in the cloud? How are we going to achieve this on a standalone headset, no less? So if you'll notice on the Flex, I'm moving my mouse here. If you can see it on the top left and right, there's buttons that can actually do some live stem separation for you. The ability to actually pull out the drums, pull out a vocal line, etc. So yeah, that will lead to some interesting things for sure in Tribe. And yeah, looking forward to that, and just the ability to maybe even try out the Flex 4, which is their Pioneer's kind of entry level controller. A little bit more complicated, but similar to our starter decks. 2 channels, of course. And yeah, it'll be. I think it'll be really great for some of our users that want to take that first step. My first step was the DDJ 400, which this sort of replaces. That was my first step from Tribe, which I learned into the real world, was a controller like this. But I can only imagine how amazing it would have been for me to actually have tried it first. So that's kind of exciting. We got the A9 mixer as well, which is basically the sort of upgraded version of the 900 mixer that we know and love inside of Tribe, and with some differences. It's functionally the same. I would say it's the similar workflow, as opposed to a V10, which is completely different. If you've ever loaded that up in Tribe, you would understand that. But yeah, just some things to make life easier. Some mic effects. The ability to have these knobs, the filter knobs, stop at 12 o'clock. It kind of like just resist anything further, so you can quickly make some movements, and similar to what we have is a reset in Tribe, like resetting it right to that position. So yeah, super exciting to get that in there. Yeah, Ozan, I don't know if you want to add anything on Pioneer DJ equipment upcoming.
Well, just really more a question. I mean, for everybody here, what your thoughts are on Pioneer DJ as as a brand and as their equipment, because we have been having ongoing conversations with them. We're a close partner with them, and wanting to understand how to best support that partnership, and the best way we can do it is with you all. And so yeah, the question is, are you interested in Pioneer DJ equipment? How would you want to use it? How would you want to integrate it with Tribe? Things like that. So those are just open-ended questions that maybe we can field as we go along.
Okay, other upcoming features. I don't have anything listed here. Is there anything you can think about, Ozan, that kind of like we obviously have like a whole we have a quite a laundry list of things, and a lot of them are suggestions from the users that we capture and have on a big list. But is there anything that you can think of off the top of your head?
Well, the only thing I would just add to it is that our whole goal is to give you guys the thing, and we're always trying to like read the tea leaves of what exactly it is you all want. That's going to be really kind of move us forward, like all of us as a community. So just as much as you can, tell us what you want, and the more we understand that signal, then we'll be able to like focus on that as we go forward.
There is a lot of things. on this list, like I said, we're super excited about. It might be a bit too early um, to announce them, but yeah, we hear everything, and we that helps us prioritize and helps us move things forward. So yeah, keep throwing things into suggestions. Keep telling the mentors in workshops what you want to see, and it'll definitely get to us for sure. Get to us, and it will definitely affect what we'll put out for you guys. So that said, we're into our last QA segment. Are we going to see any new equipment released in time for Christmas? I guess that's a time question.
Oh, that's a good question, actually, in time
That's
for Christmas.
yeah. Maybe not Black Friday, but that's okay. You can open it on Christmas.
Well, I think it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put it that way, and probably it would be the Flex 4 if unless there's feedback otherwise. But it's possible. The thing we wanted to do first was kind of respond to those immediate, weighted feedback around visuals, and then, of course, as we mentioned, the desktop mode. But then after that, maybe the Flex 4 is the thing, and maybe we can get it done by Christmas. Let's make that a goal, if nothing else. Hopefully that answers the question.
Cool. Skins, Sam, the skins for the drum machines and synth from Alex Leonard.
Yeah, I want to add some skins for those soon. Yeah, I think I should be able to get to that in the next couple weeks. It should be a pretty, not too hard of a task. So, um, we will probably start with some default skins, and then maybe open it up to the community to create some skins. We can run a contest or something like that.
Yep. Yep. Similar to if anybody doesn't have context on that, we have custom skins available to create for the tribe decks, and there's some great ones that are in tribe already that were developed by the team and the community early on, and then you have the ability to do your own with the template. So with the Pioneer equipment, we don't have that ability to do that. We don't have the permission to do that. So I think this from Alex Leonard is the question. Like, we do have a drum machine that is ours and an acid synth, so it is a possibility with that. So yeah, it'd be great to get that done. We have a few questions about hand tracking. Does anybody want to field this? I have my own kind of perspective on it.
I mean, I can just speak to the fact that we would love to have it, when when it works. Having quality hand tracking would be really great, and it would free up your hands. You wouldn't have to worry about the physical controllers. And as mentioned, I guess there's some issues with the Quest 3 and some drifting with the hand controllers. And maybe there's ways that we can do it where it feels really comfortable and responsive. But at the moment, it still seems a bit shaky, essentially, just the technology at large. And our initial prototypes of it kind of reinforced that it's a bit shaky. So it's going to take a minute to get there. But yeah, we're working on it.
Yep. And in my opinion, it would be great to do. I'm not sure how soon it will, even if in the best implementation on our end, like totally replace the controllers as far as doing the best mixes and the most responsive. The way a DJ wants to mix is with very subtle movements and very quick, and these things are way more difficult than what is done with typical hand tracking on Quest and Quest experiences. So that being said, lots of people want it. We should go for it. And yeah, even if it is not perfect, it would be a great thing that you could switch over to, right? I could see myself like, yeah, at some simpler moments in a set, even if I'm not doing anything that complicated. Just it would be a great relief and a lot of fun to just reach your hands out and grab it. So yeah, it remains to be seen, but it's something that we're definitely pursuing, and we'll have some form of it at some point. I believe. Cool. Kiko said, "How feasible is on-deck track navigation?" I'm guessing that would mean maybe playlist or looking at the deck and seeing, maybe, similar to the real decks on the display, like actually, turning the the knob to like select different tracks or track search. Next
Well,
track.
the one kind of sort of feedback on that is we had these really cool anecdotes of people learning on Tribe and then going playing on physical equipment and playing for the first time in a live context, whether it's at a kind of a studio or a club. And everything translates, but the one thing that doesn't quite translate is how do I load my tracks, because it's a different flow in real life. In real life you got your USB stick or you've got some like laptop thing going on. So if we can emulate that more better by at least having the menus be deck specific, then we'll kind of help nudge that forward a little bit. So I think it's a good point. And then the other thing too is that we do some analysis on the back end of what things people use inside the product the most, sort of aggregated data. And unsurprisingly, the number one thing is the music menu. So clearly the music menu is the hot spot, and we should continue to level it up. So that's something we want to do basically. It's on the roadmap. It's on the
Yep.
list.
It's a quick question for Kiko about how feasible is it to bring in the new meta legs? From my understanding, I don't think they're in most apps or available. It's something that's in your home menu. So yeah, I'm sure we would be looking at that when it would be available. I don't think there's anything we could actually do with that now. It would be cool, for sure.
Yep.
Kiko says they are in some games. Yeah. So yeah, that's something we can definitely look at. See if we can bring that in. How difficult it is, and how weird it is to see the feet shuffling around. I'd be interested to see. I haven't used it yet in any games, but just in the Quest Home. But if it looks a little funky when you're shuffling your feet around when it's trying to guess where they are. But yeah, that being said, we should definitely look into that. From Twitch, will there be any possible way to teleport in the room to navigate anywhere with a joystick, for example?
Yeah, one comment about that is more of a question: is what would be the goal of teleporting throughout the room? The thing that we're trying to balance from a design perspective is keeping things really simple while still keeping it totally, functional, like full featured. And one thing that helps us keep it simple is that we have this idea of everyone stationary, and then everything's built around that experience. So you're in this cockpit, DJ cockpit thing. If on top of that you could teleport around, then it just makes things rather complicated. So that's something, and especially with mixed reality. So it's something that we're kind of like trying to find a good motivation to do it. But I guess that's more of a question of like what exactly would be the goal of doing it, and then we could build around that
Yeah. What kind of joy would that create for the
with
user?
the joystick
Yeah,
joy.
joystick joy. I would think if I were to kind of guess at it, it would be something to do with more of a metaverse style of like the Hangout. If we do eventually get some room staging going on and people do want to be in this environment and not necessarily mix, it could make sense there. But if the purpose is to mix, to collaborate, to back to back, only, then yeah, that's a bit less. But yeah, let's inquire. Definitely reach out,
One,
Kawabenga, and let us know. Tom,
Lee,
what's up?
one thing I'd add there is, yeah, it looks like, so we've been looking at like the Vision Pro specifications with a view to sort of future-proofing Tribe there and potentially launching on that headset whenever it comes out. And the Vision Pro user experience is actually bizarrely very static. It's I think there's a very small area within which people can move. So it's again like the market. There seems to be this like split happening in the market where there's at the one end you have very like high activity sort of fitness style experiences, and
Yeah.
at the other end you got more sort of static experiences. Tribe leans more into the latter, and that's historically been sort of our main design consideration. So yeah, so just something to mention, but like Ozan said, like we never say never to this stuff, like, and we've always thought about movement more from the audience perspective than the DJ perspective.
We got some more questions here, and maybe we'll open up the floor in just a couple minutes. When this is from Alex Leonard. When an A9 comes into development, the setting that you can't go past 12 o'clock, would that be featured on other decks? I would say my answer to that is probably not, because there is a bit of simulation where other decks have other properties, like the V10 doesn't have that, so it'd be a bit misleading. And we also do have the this unique ability in VR to reset the decks to 12 o'clock. So almost the A9 is like catching up to us. If I'm gonna be if I'm gonna be arrogant about it, like the A9 is doing something that we kind of already do with resetting the deck. So I would say probably not. We do want to have accuracy to and simulation of what the decks are. On top of that, we do have other things, like we have the mixer screen, the phase meter, and other things, other ways that we can make life easy and without like sacrificing the accuracy to actual real life decks. Yeah, Chillmonger was just more of a comment, just like really excited about Pete Tong and Carl Cox, and excited to see more training. We do have more planned, right, Ozan and Sam? There's more in the chamber at some point.
There's definitely more content in the catalog, and so it's going to be sort of ongoing conversations with the Pete Tong DJ Academy about exactly what the schedule will be for that content. But yes, that's the plan.
Cool. Yeah, and Chillmonger also is interested in how DJs create playlists and decide on transitions. I think that's a great point too. Yeah, not only in DJ training is about how to use and operate the equipment, but it's also about a little bit of the philosophy behind it. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna have some more workshops that are tuned towards that. Again, we have more users in. We have more of an ability to separate our workshops and do some really interesting, more advanced, even philosophical things there live with the mentor, and then also hopefully recording some of those things. I know Disco Jesus was very interested in this, and hopefully, yeah, we can do some recorded stuff, pre-recorded content, as well as some workshops. So yeah, for sure. I think that's it for now. Cool. Here's another one. At the buzzer from DJ Trollbot. Any news about RPM avatars? I think possibly that refers to either full body or there are ways to do sort of custom RPM avatars as well. Something that's come up where we could have tribe merchandise, tribe shirts and such that we develop. So it's probably either it's around that the customization of RPM or fuller body avatars.
I mean, I can speak to that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was on.
this is this is a point of, it's a little agonizing, to be honest, because I think the avatars are just such an important part of our identity and the way we're represented in this content. And so we're just doing our level best to kind of keep on the edge of each of these technologies. And so we spent a lot of time getting the meta avatars happening, and of course they're real great with their full upper body, and you have elbows. It's like, I have elbows, soon knees, and then eventually feet. And there's just it's a pretty tall order actually technically to get it all working in a stable way across all the surfaces. So to get that same level of articulation with the Ready Player Me avatars would be super dope. It's just a question of time. So that's we want to do it because then it gives you a greater creative flexibility, and it's a different aesthetic. And then I would just mention, on a kind of loosely related note, is if you look at some of the advances that are happening with Meta, with I think they're called the codec avatars, those kind of photoreal avatars. It's pretty astonishing. That's not coming anytime soon to Quest or to Tribe, but just to kind of see their vision of what those avatars will become is pretty great. So we're keeping an eye on that as well.
As we're heading into overtime now, just more of a comment from DJ Zippy. Huge thank you to everyone who has made Tribe possible and the mentors for their time. Tribe's absolutely awesome. Thank you, everybody. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Eyes with hearts in them a couple times. Thank you, DJ Zippy. It's great to have you in the shops and in the community. We got Reese Cup, so just try to keep this quick too. We'll see if we can get as many people as possible. So if you have one or two questions, just get them in and jump off the stage. So inviting you to speak, please. Yeah, and if you want to jump in with a quick question, just raise your hand.
So
Reese
I have
Cup.
a question. So
Yep.
if I was like a beginner to like this DJing thing, how would I want how would I get somebody to like teach me? Like, how would I want somebody to like try to teach me?
Yeah. So yeah, I can answer that quickly. So there's a few ways to do it, I'd say, like, or a combination of those, like a few methods to start to learn. I would say start with do the starter lesson, like the tutorial. You've probably been through that already. Do there's a bunch of lessons in there. The 5-day DJ challenge, it was just released in 10.6 just a couple months ago. Definitely, if you have not gone through that whole thing, it's a lot of content, 5 days worth, of fact. But I would do that, and it is a guided lesson. It's the game mode, very similar to like Dance Dance Revolution or with the Beat Highway. But it does introduce you to all the topics that you will need. Shows you what buttons you basically have to have some grasp on: EQ, play, pause, faders, crossfader, etc. And that will give you a little bit of background. Probably once you jump into free play after that, you may feel a little bit lost still, but that's where you can actually jump into the workshops. So I would try to get into the workshops. We have about 30 per week now. So if you can jump into one, my recommendation would be to just let them know where you're at. Say that you're a complete beginner. You've done this, but you just feel lost, and I think you'll be able to find some help there, or at least some guidance of some basic concepts in Tribe. If nothing else, we can wrap it up here.
Thanks, Tsickle, for hosting and for all that you do.
Thank you. Thanks to this community who makes my job easy, because they're so damn awesome that it's just it's inspiring every day. I just hope to do more for everybody, and just proud of the dev team. So when we come out here to the on the stage, like there's so many accomplishments to talk about, and just delivering things to the community feels great. So I'm glad to be able to do that. Thanks to all the devs and all the back end work. So we'll wrap it up there with that little bit of positivity. Please reach out to me if anything. And one last thing is those reviews. If just a reminder, if you haven't already, they really help. So much appreciated. Love everybody here. Have a great day.